In terms of hybrids, plug-in hybrids and electric vehicles, one of the sectors of the new car buying market that is most sceptical about the new technology is the off-road fraternity, and with good reason. There's a lot of skepticism about how these vehicles will work in a proper off-road setting. However, when a brand like Jeep does it, when a brand like Jeep delivers that kind of technology, you have to sit up and take notice. We're about to test the new Grand Cherokee 4xe. So this is a plug-in hybrid. It's got around about 40 to 50 kilometers of pure electric range, and then it switches over into a regular petrol engine. But we're about to test it in some proper off-road driving. Let's find out how it performs. The Grand Cherokee 4xe signifies the brand's next step in the move to electrification. The plug-in hybrid Grand Cherokee is based on an all-new platform and pairs a turbocharged 4-cylinder petrol engine with a pair of electric motors fed by a 17.3 kilowatt-hour battery. Even in EV mode, this is a serious off-road capable SUV. Combined outputs are 280 kilowatts and 637 newton meters, and there's an 8-speed automatic transmission. The claim of 50 kilometres on pure EV power alone is achievable in the real world, as our launch drive demonstrated. There's added underbody protection for the 4xe as well to keep the battery cells safe from hits off-road. Drive modes allow you to choose how you use the battery power, as well as tailor performance to specific off-road terrain. Jeep's clever four-wheel drive system remains a standout, and even in pure EV mode, the Grand Cherokee will go a long way off-road in standard guise. Blue accents and badging indicate that this is the plug-in hybrid, and there's a full suite of active safety kit included across the range as well. We'll have full details on specification and pricing closer to the Australian launch. Obviously, with an electric vehicle, and it does sound kind of obvious to say this, it's very refined when it's in EV mode, and that doesn't matter whether you're on a dirt road like we are now or on a sealed road in suburbia. It's very quiet and refined inside the cabin. But the way the Grand Cherokee transitions from what it's capable of doing on-road to what it's capable of doing off-road is perhaps the most impressive string to its bow. This really is a genuinely capable off-road vehicle. I think for this new model though, they've really lifted the cabin, they've lifted the sense of refinement. It does feel like a really premium vehicle when you're inside it, and overall, the breadth of capability is something that's genuinely impressive. There's been a lot of talk and a lot of emphasis with the new Grand Cherokee on the cabin, and obviously as the driver, that's where you spend the most of your time. It looks fantastic from outside, but you don't spend all day standing there looking at your car. You're inside your car driving it, and that's very much the case with a four-wheel drive or a large SUV, as the Grand Cherokee is. The effort that's gone into the cabin is genuinely impressive. This is a really premium, refined and well executed place to be. Even when you're on dirt roads, we just drove over a cattle grid then because we're on a property here. It's comfortable, it's refined, and it's really quiet inside the cabin. Yes, the electric drivetrain has something to do with that. So when you're in pure EV mode, it's obviously very quiet and refined, but even the 4-cylinder engine, and there is a tendency for those engines to sound a little bit unrefined when you put some revs into them. But in the Grand Cherokee, it's not like that. It's very quiet, it's well insulated from inside the cabin, and this really does feel like a premium, refined place to be. So new Grand Cherokee 4xe is refined on-road and pretty impressive off-road, but we expected that because anything with a Jeep badge on it has to be good off-road, and the new Grand Cherokee is very much that. But what impressed me a little bit more than both of those facets was the real-world electric usage, I guess, of the battery pack. We got just over 40 kilometres as we left Austin and drove out into the suburbs, and it worked really well. I think for the average Australian, if your commute is 20 kilometres each way to work, plug-in hybrids really do make sense, and the 4xe makes sense. Let us know what you think of the new Grand Cherokee, specifically this model, in the comments section below. Don't forget to hit like if you've enjoyed the video, click on subscribe so you can stay up to date with all of our latest video content. And as always, the full written review of the new Grand Cherokee 4xe is at Drive.com.au.